To kick off this call, and once again, I welcome you all to the cohort 3 BlueDutch Realtor Masterclass training program powered by BlueDutch Realtor Academy. And on this note, I'm going to be moderating this call. I'm going to be your moderator alongside my distinguished colleague, Coach Bobby, who is in the building. We're going to be taking you through this 8 solid modules of real estate masterclass. And on today's notes, of course, I would like you to, while we proceed, I would want to kindly request that you keep your microphones muted throughout the session, except when you have something to say or you raise up your hand and then you'll be given the room to speak. Also, kindly feel free to drop your questions and your opinions in the chat room. Just drop all your concerns there. And also take notes, be observant of what is going on in the chat room, as we'll be leaving very vital information for you right there. And this session is not going to last more than 1 hour, and then we would have to call it a day. So yes, quickly into the order of the day. Good morning, everyone, once again, and welcome to BlueDutch. My name is Kemi Parker, the Business Development Manager at BlueDutch, and we are excited to officially flag off the cohort 3 with a very important and forward-looking module that we have titled 2026 Real Estate Market Analysis and Trends. And this season is designed to help you think ahead, position better, and sell smarter in a changing market. And then, of course, we have alongside all other guests that will be coming in from different cohorts to run you through and equip you to ensure that you have all what it takes to stand out amongst your equals. So then the next thing I'm going to be running us through quickly is to introduce BlueDutch to you, because I know some of us on this call, most of the people that will be joining this call have not come in contact with BlueDutch, or maybe in one way or the other you heard about BlueDutch, but you really don't know what we do here at BlueDutch. This section is for you. And then BlueDutch is a premium Nigerian real estate development sales firm delivering
Hello, good morning, everyone.
high-quality residential and commercial projects across key urban
Please,
cities.
if you can hear me properly, kindly signify so that we can continue.
Yes, we can.
Yes, I can.
Okay. All right. So
Thank you so much for having me here.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much for everyone who joined and for signifying. And my name is Emmanuel Joseph. They call me Outright Joe. And today I've been given a very wonderful topic to address what we call the real estate.
Outright Joe, sorry, not your time for you to shoot up. Not your time for you to shoot. I know you're ready to shoot. Let Kemi introduce you, please, okay, properly. You get that, sir? We're introducing you officially, so can you hold on a bit, sir? You get that, sir? Outright Joe, can you hear me? I think he's having an issue with this. Hearing us. You may have to log in again after Joe. Let me catch him up on WhatsApp.
All right. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Apologies for that glitch. We'll pick it up right from where I stopped. I was running us through an overview of BlueDutch, and I remember I last mentioned that it is a premium Nigerian real estate development and sales firm delivering innovative, high-quality residential and commercial projects across key urban cities. Now, our mission is to transform visionary ideas into sustainable, ready spaces through smart technologies, environmental conscious practices, and architectural excellence. And for you listening to us today, yourself and your clients, your prospects, your entire network, why is it necessary that you partner with BlueDutch? it is important that you partner with BlueDutch because BlueDutch is a real estate company that has 0 litigation cases. And then we also boast of a 95% plus location success rates. We have titled properties with affordable pricing and installment payment plan. We are located in prime locations with excellent infrastructures, and we also offer immediate allocation after purchase. We have transparent documentation system, ethical and customer-centric business practices. And now to the business of the day. This masterclass is our annual realtor training, which is our way of giving back to the realtor community by sharing practical insights into what is happening across the real estate sector. We have carefully assembled an array of seasoned industry professionals who will address every critical aspect of real estate with the goal of molding and sharpening you both individually and collectively. And together, we will be breaking it all down in a practical and relatable way. So once again, you are officially welcome. My name is Kemi Parker, your host, and in collaboration, Coach Bobby. Please, Coach Bobby, can you signify, just wave to us if you're back
Hello,
on the
everyone.
call.
Good morning.
Have with me the
So great to be here.
Coach Bobby. If you are in real estate, you must have heard about Coach Bobby. He's right here, and we're going to be moderating this call alongside each other. And at the end of this 8 weeks program, participants who meet the requirements, of course, would receive free certificate of completion. And it is important to note that to qualify for this certification, remember we said the registration has been free. It's going to be free till the last module, and the certification is also free. However, to qualify for the free certification, you are expected to attend at least 7 out of the 8 sessions. This certification also positions you for consideration for our Realtor of the Year award. We did something like that last year during our end of year party. And come this year, when we have our end of year party, we're going to be awarding several realtors. And for you to emerge as the Realtor of the Year, I mean, you need this training. You need to have undergone this training alongside your active engagement with the company, and of course your sales record with the company. At BlueDutch, we are committed to not just selling properties, but to building informed, strategic, and profitable realtors. So this masterclass is part of our investment in your growth and professionalism. And on this note, I would leave the floor for Coach Bobby, who is going to introduce our speaker for the day. Coach Bobby, over to you. Thank you.
All right. Good morning, everyone. I'm so excited to be here to be doing this alongside BlueDutch Academy. Thank you so much, Madam Candice, the visionary of this platform. So quickly, I want to just introduce our first foremost trainer for today, a powerful facilitator, a good friend of mine, a colleague in the industry. He has been here for a while. His former name is Emmanuel Joseph. He's been in real estate for a while now. He's someone that has earned his flowers, someone that has proven records, as in back-to-back awards and all that, gift, incentive. It's a well-informed realtor and knows his onions in the game. All right, so developers looking forward to always do business with him, because why? I will one day with him, one day seeing educating a developer on his project. Like, wow, this guy knows his onions. So today we want to have him to just help us break down this topic, which is 2026 real estate market analysis and trends. So after Joe want to come and expose to us what you have seen this year, want to share with us as a realtor and how we position ourselves for this year. You have the floor, sir, for the next 40 minutes, I believe. Thank you, sir. Can you hear me after Joe? Can you hear me? Hello, sir. Can you hear me after Joe? Can you hear me? Is somebody hearing me?
Yeah, around me.
Yes, I
You
can
want to
hear you.
talk now?
Yes, go ahead, sir.
Okay. Thank you so much, Mr. Bobby, for having me. Thank you, Blue Dot, for having me on your platform. Like they said, my name is Atrajo Emmanuel Joseph. They call me Atrajo in full, just for the brand itself. So I'll be talking on something that is very critical to our real estate. Please, if I'm audible, kindly let me know. If I'm not audible enough, please also let me know so that I can work. I can give what needs to be done. Okay, thank you.
Very audible.
Okay,
Very
so
audible.
for what I've been given so far to talk on, I'll be talking on something that is currently trending, and which is the topic for today is called the real estate market analysis and trend. The real estate market analysis and trend. So that means everyone who are actually here are realtor, or in one way or the other, you are actually in connection with real estate. And the main basis of you coming on this platform is to making sure that you give value to the industry and in turn make profits from that same industry. That is the essence of we being in the industry. Your passion, your value to the industry, and in turn, that value is turned into what we call the profits. Okay, so the topic matter that I'll be discussing here today is I'll be on four. On those four topics, those topic matter, they have pillars under them. And the first one is the Lagos, in brackets, Nigeria. So the Lagos real estate market is no longer a guessing game. But first, let me say something before we comment so that you know where you are, where you can position yourself in the industry. I often tell people, I said, you can have the right people and not have the right products. And you can have the right products and not have the right people. Now, the question you ask yourself is, where exactly am I in this picture? Do I have the right people and I don't have the right products? Or do I have the right products and I do not have the right people? So then along the line, we'll talk, or you yourself can question yourself where exactly you belong. Okay. So the Lagos real estate market is no longer a guessing game. That is the first topic that we're talking on. The second one is that prices of the property that we are selling are no longer rising everywhere blindly. The third one is buyers who we call clients are smarter now. They are more cautious and they are even more demanding. If you have one or two encounters with them, you understand that buyers are no longer rushing to buy properties anymore. I'm talking about the topic matters, what we'll be discussing today. And the last but not the least is the regulation from Lagos or from whichever location that you are purchasing your real estate from. There's what we call regulation, then the financing aspects, then the technology that is shaping how deals are happening right now in Lagos. Okay, if you're just joining me, this is Alfredo, and I'm talking on something that is very, very important on how you and I can, make so much wonderful, millions in this year 2026. So on the first pillar is what we call the current market reality. The current market reality. So, and what I'll be asking is that what we are carrying into this year 2026. Also, let me say something which one of my mentors told me, or you've also seen in so many places. The definition of, I'm not calling anybody names here, but he has said that the definition of a fool is not somebody who is actually non-learned anymore. It is somebody who continue to do the same thing every year and expect different results. I think I was also in that picture before. I could, I can categorically call myself some years ago, a foolish person because I was doing the same thing and I was expecting the same results. So I fall into that category some years ago. I would say on my part, I can tell myself, foolish I tried Joe then, because I was expecting to make more money, but I was doing the same thing every year. Man, when bill enter my head, then nobody tell me I got to change. All right. So one thing you must understand here is that the price fatigue now is real. Okay, the price fatigue. Okay, thank you so much for putting that on the line. Okay, so this is our topic matter. This is what you and I will be knowing today, so that we can excel so much in this year 2026. This is what is working for me, and I'm also still adjusting to making sure that I'll be on the top of my game. Now, the first one is what we are carrying into the year 2026. That is what is actually happening right now in this year 2026. The first one is what we call, I tell me that price fatigue is real. That means buyers are pushing back on overpriced listing. You have seen so many social critics online. I think I've seen one or two of them who are saying, "Oh, Banana Island is overpriced. So location is overpriced. This place." So they are questioning that. Buyers are saying, "We don't want this price anymore. Don't give me a location that I know that it should be selling for 50 million naira, and you are selling it for 100 million naira." So buyers are saying, "We know now." So that is what we are facing right now in the year 2026. So every realtor should have that at the back of their mind. Then the second one is, not every location can justify premium prices anymore. Not every location can justify premium prices anymore. Please, BlueDutch, you have to permit me to use one or two companies, if you allow, just to say one or two things, so that I won't call their name actually, but I can give a description so that we can decipher between them. Okay.
Please go ahead, sir.
Come on. Okay, so on what we are talking right now, which I made mention, and that is the fact that buyers. Okay. So no, not every location. I think I've been logged out. Please, if you can hear me. My network is showing that I'm logged out here. But if you can hear me, please, you can give me a sign so that I can continue also.
I can hear you.
Okay. All right. So, okay. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So, not every location can justify premium prices anymore. So, if you go to Ibejuleki, Ayetoro, for instance, you'll see different real estate companies over there. We have one or two companies who they have done wonderful work in their estates. Okay, one of the estates, some of you may know them, along very opposite the Lekki Ekpe International Airport. And what you will see in there is that they've done tremendously work inside the estates, and they are selling their estates at a time before the estate was sold out for, I think, 40 something million naira. And another estate which has not done anything, just gatehouse, and they put the price ahead of that same one that has done serious work in their estate. Oh yeah, now that one makes sense. So as somebody who wants to buy, when you go to that same as in the first estate, they have so many buildings inside. They are selling their landed property for 40 million naira. Another estate which has not done anything is selling their own for 49 million naira. So you begin to ask yourself this question: what really happened? What exactly has commanded the appreciation of that landed property that this new estate, this second estate, is selling? When we ask them questions, what exactly happened that your price shoot up to the same premium price? What they told us is that this other estate is selling for 40 million naira, and now we are selling for 48 million naira. So what exactly have we done inside the estate? Then say it is the impact of the other estate that is rubbing on them. So now you begin to ask yourself that one, now you know exactly what is happening. So not every location can justify that premium prices anymore. So as a buyer or you as a realtor, what do you do in that, in that position? Your job is to making sure that you weigh them together. You'll be in the very heart of that same client that want to buy. You look at this one selling for 40 million naira with so many infrastructural developments inside. The best option that you give them is this one is better. So now you know that not every location can justify. So now a buyer will say, I'm not buying that number 2 that you presented to me. And some realtors, that is the only product that they know. Probably they know only the number 2. They don't know the number 1. So you want to force the number 2 to the buyer. The buyer say, no, I know better. I can't sell here. I can't buy here. So in that aspect, what happened? That realtor would definitely lose that sales. So that is another one. Then supply has increased. That is what we're also talking on. That is the first pillar. Supply has actually increased. We have more developers right now in Nigeria, which are giving us virtually almost everything that other people are also giving. So you see, because supply has increased, what happened is that demand, if supply is more than demand, what happened? That means, and in that process, and because supply is more than demand, what happened to you, the realtor? It means therefore that you're actually competing with, supply more than actually the demand itself. And by such, you may probably not make sales because of this. So you must understand the market. When the supply is more than the demand, that means every realtors are competing for just one product. And that is what we noticed recently about one of the company that was selling bungalows. So in that location, they just have only that estate that is selling that bungalow. I mean, in Ibejuleki. And what happened? Because demand were actually more, and more realtors are in the game. We had so many sold out. Why? Because we have many realtors. That means, let me just use like that. Like that is a supply. That's what I can say. Okay, now we have more of off-plan projects. I'm talking about the reality that is on ground right now. I have a project that I'm running right now inside one of the estates. And so far, we have about almost 14 buildings, and it is still on ground. Why? Because we have more off-plan projects on ground, almost in the same vicinity. Okay, that is the market reality. Another one is that we have more short-let that are, to sale conversion. We're going to talk on that one later also. Okay, let me rush it so far so that we can talk about what has been giving me wonderful sales. And that is the third one. It is trust. Trust. So if you can get, especially Nigerian diaspora, if you can get these 3, trust, just tell me you'll be making sale almost every week. But let's go into this factor also. Trust is a major concern, and buyers are now asking for title. In fact, maybe some of us who have also been in the real estate for some years, if you are, I think 2021, even I think 2020, 2021, if you tell a buyer, probably in Ibejuleki, and they are looking for a landed property to buy, all you need to tell them that time, just tell them the property is excision in process. In fact, many of us sold excision in process that year. You don't even need to go and I just tell them this property is excision in process, and the buyer will rush in to buy. I'm talking about 4 or 5 years ago. Excision in process was selling massively. Despite some people knowing that excision is as the excision in process was, I'm talking about documentation now. Somebody will talk about documentation later, but I'm talking about buyers buying property from you, despite knowing that what you are selling is in process. So that was some years ago. Right now, in this year 2026, buyers are asking that, please, which title this property gets? If this property does not have C of O, Oga, I am not buying. So awareness has increased. In fact, when you are also building your houses, now they are demanding for building approval. I don't know if some of you are, in the game, you understand that now before you can even sell properties now, buyers are asking you, please, I need to see the building approval. And also, they will ask you, please, we also want to know if this company have done this job before. Have they built? Where exactly have they built? Which property do they have in social location? We want to know. So that is what we are facing in this year 2026. And some of them we will ask, what is their delivery? We want to know what they've delivered so far. If we don't see such, that means you as a realtor, you have a lot to do. And that is why every realtor must understand that the game has changed from 2021, 2022, 2023. The game has tremendously changed in this year since last year, 2025 to 2026. Now, how does it affect you, realtor? This is what you will now tell them. You must you must defend your prices with facts. Facts. You must not hype. Some some years ago, when you're selling in Bejuleki, just tell them, Dangote refinery, just name some of all those one or two things itself. And some of them will say, okay, no problem, I want to buy. But right now, you must define every price of property that you are buying, that the clients are, you must defend every prices that you want to sell to the buyer. So if a buyer wants to buy a property along social location, you must be able to give them facts why this thing has actually appreciated. What are those things that has commanded the appreciation of this property? So if you are not able to tell them those facts, be rest assured that they will look for someone else who understands the economy. Thank you. So now, not every location, just like I said, now you must understand why a property is what is what. Some properties are long. I'm using Ibejuleki because we drive in there very often. And now, so not every location can justify premium. I've talked about that, but still, let me still, give that same example. Yes, sir. So in terms of the so you as a realtor, you must understand why a property is what is what. So when you go to any estate, look at the surrounding, look at the dynamics, look at those landmarks. Then look at the estates. You can compare them to other estates, so that when you are selling to anybody, we have so many realtors right now who are also presenting similar product or similar location to the buyers. Now, all you need to do is to know how explain why this property is what is what. And once that is justified, then be rest assured that you definitely make that sales. Then the third one is you are no longer just a marketer, you are now an advisor. Please, I'm saying this because when that means all of us have to be an economist. You must also understand numbers, mathematics. So it is no longer the era. I think I joined, yes, I remember some years ago, I joined REMS group. Why? Because most I want to go for award, and I will see them call REMS. Oh, REMS. Oh, so all those, I'll be so happy that these people are selling. I need to be part of this group. So when I joined, then I was going for expansion. I mean, many years ago. So and the next thing I saw, people were just dancing. I will see Madam MFK. All she need just dance. I was watching a video online. I mean, many years ago. Then she would just dance, and the next thing, someone told me that once all of them were dancing, the next thing, sales were making. So myself, I joined the group. I said, okay, let me join this group. Maybe if I start dancing, then I can be making sales. Or I danced and danced on Instagram. Nothing happened though. In fact, it'd be like, see, I was just losing sales. People were not even looking at my page. Why? Because I was just dancing. Shane, dance won't concert. But those years, those were what they were doing. So once Instagram just came out, I think some years ago. So once we do shake your body and other things like that, they were like, oh, I like this person, I like the charisma, and I love the presentation. So before you know it, they were making sales. Now, this 2027, you are no longer a marketer. In fact, we have moved from dancing era. We have moved from saying this property is here. No, now you are not even a marketer. You and I are not even a marketer anymore. Now we are advisor. We advise them now. You advise the buyer. You give them the market trend. you give them the appreciation and how this location is depreciating. You must be able to tell them how, because a lot of them just want to make money. And because you make yourself an advisor, an authority, not just a marketer. So when they approach you and they see how you can explain figures, how you can also actually explain figure, then be rest assured. All they need to, even if they said I'll come back to you, we've had that so many times, be rest assured they will definitely come back. Why? Because you are no longer a normal marketer, you are now an advisor. Okay, let's rush into the pillar 2. So if you are if you're not joining me, this is After Joe, and if you're enjoying my class, please a thumbs up so that we self will know say okay, thank you everybody. So I will know say okay, we are talking to people who are also understanding. Okay, thank you so much. So the pillar 2 is the one which is I call pricing trends, where money will move. So, and I gave an example in my listing. I said not every location will make money for buyer. Okay, so thank you everyone. So now the second one is where money will move. See, what a buyer wants to know is just talk about money. Just mention money to them. If you go to my page, I talk about billion. In fact, billion. So that somebody who will be hearing the billion. Okay, okay. Okay. I think somebody is okay. So we're talking about where money will move. Okay, areas that will still appreciate strongly. And these are places that you yourself as as a realtor must know. You must know these parts. You must know this part that these areas are areas that will appreciate. You need to know them. You don't need to wait for REMS or for BlueDutch to tell you the areas that will appreciate. You yourself must do your research, and you must tell these people these areas are areas that you, from your research, backed up with evidence and facts, with mathematical appreciation, analysis. Be rest assured that you will see clients saying, okay, please. I think somebody is saying somebody's mic is on. All right. Okay. So, and infrastructure backed location. So you will notice that I shared a video on my page and I said something, and that was 2 days ago. That was because I was given information that certain thing is coming towards the Bejuleki. We are expecting 132 kV transmission from Aja to Eleko. We're also expecting, a gas, pipeline running towards that location. Now, and also last year, Lagos State government made mention of, Lagos State government also made mention of the fact that there's going to be a rail line from Ekpe, passing through Ibejuleki down to Marina and Victoria Island. Meaning, if you live in Ekpe, you can comfortably come to Victoria Island in less than 40 to 45 minutes. So those are backed locations. So if you are marketing Ibejuleki and Ekpe, you have so many infrastructures that can now, give you the reason why you can sell this place. Now, commercial activity is one. Another one is that government or private sector investments. You should be able to tell them this area is where money is heading. So government and private sectors are rushing down to Ibejuleki, and because they are rushing towards that location, so these are where the money is actually moving to, and people want to know where money is going. So you can't tell me that okay, what can I use now? Ekiti. So you can't tell me that an investor, if it's not from Ekiti, and there's nothing to, and there's no infrastructure that is backed by government, private, or anything, that is actually worth it, will now take his money, 100 million naira, and go straight to Ekiti. No, where they will go to is actually Ibejuleki. Why? Because that is where the money is going to. Now, areas that you must be able to tell me, areas that will go slowly but steadily. You can, if you want to, you must be able to tell those buyers that this area, I'm talking about you deciphering, knowing the area that will run up, that will appreciate strongly, and at the same time, the areas that will be growing shortly. Now, if I'm to market Chevron and to also market Ibejuleki, Ayetoro, for instance, and Ekpe, I have to tell the client that Chevron is already a place that people are living, and this place, be rest assured that your investment here will appreciate so strongly. That is Chevron, Lekki Phase 1, Lekki Phase 2. Now, an investor will say, okay, what can I put into this location? All I need to just, okay, you can put in rentals, short-let apartments, something that I know definitely that once you put in, it will appreciate strongly. Now, the second one is, when I'm talking about Ibejuleki now, we're talking about Ayetoro and Ekpe. This place will definitely grow like Chevron in future, or even better than Chevron, but it's going to be a place that we grow but steady appreciation. So whoever is putting his or her money into that location is not putting his money in a for short-let apartment now. Is buying a landed property or certain property that will appreciate steadily, not like what we have in Chevron. So you'll be able to tell those clients this is the position as a realtor. So now tell them which area is good for rent, is good for shortlets. Diaspora client want to see that this person knows his onions and is giving those things itself. Now, let me also go further to the one that is called areas that may stagnate. Okay, that may actually have one or two stagnation, and that's what we call the overpriced location. We have low demand axis, location with no real economic activities. We have so many places like that. I made mention of Ekiti. I'm not talking about Ekiti. Even in Lagos, there are some location which we can add, and which we can say that this location has no real economic activity. So if you take your real estate business into a location that does not have any economic activity, be rest assured that you are not making any profit from there. Maybe in the next future, but at the moment you can't do that. Now let's talk about areas pushed by marketing. So when you are pushing certain location, be rest assured you must know those ones. Now the pillar 3, which I know it is also very, very important, is the new buyer mindset. I call this one new buyer's mindset. So you that want to sell to somebody, okay, thank you. So you that want to sell to somebody, there is our buyers right now in the real estate industry, or people want to buy from you, especially Nigerian diaspora. So what you are telling them, they go straight to Google to check it. They confirm if what you are telling them is actually true. So I've seen buyers who told me, please, this property you want to sell to me, I have seen everything. I've checked the coordinates. I know the location myself just by using Google. So, and what they do is that they compare prices and they ask certain tough questions. So you must be abreast with certain information when a buyer is asking certain questions. You yourself, you must be ahead, knowing fully well that this is what you are doing itself. Now, other ones which I also want to say is that, now buyers are saying we are not rushing anymore. We've seen people who say, I will get back to you. Some will not get back, not because they don't want to buy. That is because in deciding now, they are slow to their decision making. They are not rushing anymore. I had a deal, I think about 2 years ago, like that, and I've been on that client for years. She just wanted to know if I'm still in the industry. And after one or two things, and she bought, I think about 24 plots. Yes. So this is a client that, for like 2 years, we have not done any transaction. She was just watching me. And immediately she noticed that, okay, this young man is genuine. And she took her decision and she bought 24 plots of landed property from me on outright sales itself. Why? Because, it is about slower decision making. So these are the buyers that we have right now in 2026. They are not rushing to buy. Then other one is they demand inspection, and they also want to they demand for documents. They want to know the proof. I've made mention of that up there. Now, buyers are asking, can I rent this? I've also said something like this. When you are selling certain property to them, they want to know, can I make profit from this? Can I resell it in 1 or 2 years? Then what problem does property solve? So you must be able to know this information so that you can get the main picture. Another one is that your job as a realtor right now is to start educating people, stop overselling. Your ability to explain risk and return build trust. I personally don't sell certain location in Lagos. Okay, let me just say I don't sell. Okay, some of my client knows that I don't promote Ikota, for instance. Not that Ikota is bad, not that Ikota has issue, but personally, I just say, okay, this place I don't want to sell, because when I was entering into the business, I noticed that a lot of developers were building in certain location. So when client reach out to me and say, I want to buy here, I'll say, no, I'm not selling this location for me based on, personal conviction. So your job is to be able to explain the risk and return, and by such you build trust itself. Okay, because of timing also. So the fourth one is fewer people can buy outright cash. This year, ask some people, have they sold outright cash payments? Some will say yes. Like me, okay, I'll say yes on my own part too. We had wonderful outright sales this year, and we've also had 1 or 2, so, but you must understand that in this year 2026, the what you should know is that fewer people can buy outright. Just tell them certain price. I saw the property some time ago, and what the client was asking me was, okay, let me just see this document. I said, okay, no problem. And the client doesn't even look like someone who can buy. We just talked online, and before you knew it, the client transferred 200 million naira straight at a go on a Friday, like that, and the sales was closed. So that means so when the sales happen, are like, oh, this person we've never met before, we've never seen before. We just made a talk online, we just talk on phone, and the next thing is sales happen. So that means a lot of people can actually make, they can commit their 200 million naira even without seeing you. And that is exactly what has happened in my own case too. So the client made, even without seeing me, he just made that 200 million naira. Now, flexible payment plan will dominate in this year 2026. Flexible payment plan will dominate. And if you notice, the federal government has also come up with what we call the mortgage MREF from last year. So that means, therefore, that this is what is happening. Rent to own, mortgage, all those things are what will be happening in this year 2026. So you as a realtor, what exactly are you supposed to do now that mortgage is on the rampart? Go and find a mortgage person, go to banks, go and ask how mortgage is being done. So that when a client reached out to you and said, please, this is my position, I do not have this 500 million naira, you can talk to the person and say, okay, I know somebody who can give you mortgage for this amount of money. So that means, therefore, that you are not losing that client to another realtor like me who understand mortgage. So with such, if you lose somebody that want to do a mortgage payment plan, you won't sell payment plan to the person 1 year. I say, okay, I get mortgage for the person. Now, who do you think the person will come to? Definitely me. I'm using pidgin English so that, all of us go understand where the thing they pinch us like that. So you must understand that payment structure, mortgage basic, affordability conversation, you must tell them itself. Now, another one also is that realtors who ignore financing, you must know this financial, information. You will lose deal. I'm not saying you, if you don't understand financing in this year 2026, a lot of us will lose deal. And that's more reason why you must go understand financing, understand that MREF mortgage is 9.75% interest. When they wake you up anytime, you can tell them, this is what mortgage is offering. This is what BlueDutch as a company is offering. They have the payment plan. They have 6 months. They have 12 months. They also allow mortgage payment plan. So you must be able to know what this company is also selling and all those. So then the other one, which is the technology aspects, And you notice that this year there has been a lot of AI, artificial intelligence, taking over. Am I okay? Oh, okay, okay. So AI is actually taking over so much right now that, in fact, if you're not even if you're not careful, you can even lose yourself to AI. So that means, therefore, that most of the job are being done by AI. Majority of the jobs right now are being done by AI. So in this area of technology, you must also be ahead of a lot of factors. Now, what do I say? Now, technology is giving us a virtual inspection, meaning, therefore, that buyers don't need to send their brothers and sisters anymore. In fact, most of my clients don't even send their brothers or sisters to go and see certain properties anymore. We just go there and we do a virtual inspection. They see it themselves. So you yourself must know how to take advantage of, you don't have to wait for BlueDutch to take you to their site. You yourself go there and make videos, go there, take the sites by that virtual. Once you get to the place, you see yourself winning. And this is how you can make so many wonderful sales in this year 2026 by doing a virtual inspection. Don't wait for any company to take you for inspection. In fact, okay, let me not go there. Now, another aspect is what we call the digital documentation. So if you look at it, I talk about digital documentation, and that's because right now, all you need to do is to ask the company, please, I'd like to have a soft copy of what this document has. They will definitely reach out to you and say, if it is coordinates, they will give you. If it is the Google location, and if it is any title, they will send them to you. So now so you as a person, don't just send it like that to them. Beautify it. You can add flesh to what they have given you. Let's say I ask BlueDutch now and say, please, your property in this location, please, I want to have the documents, or give me, what they can use to search. And they just send me those number. So me as a realtor, my job is to making sure that I put flesh to that number that they sent me. You can take it to Canva, take it straight to PDF, tone it, beautify it, make it look like you are the one that put your pictures, then you send it to them. Something that makes it look professional. So that is one thing. So the digital information that you are giving you must beautify it, make it look more appealing. Then the other one is that social media as a trust building tool. Okay, let me talk on this social media aspect more, because I've been able to close so many wonderful deals as a result of social media. So when I came fully into Instagram, I think 2025, early 2025, I've been a YouTuber person. They used to pay me on YouTube monthly. Then I started to come to Instagram just to test the ground. You understand? Just to test the ground. A lot of people who know me on YouTube will definitely tell you, this guy, they try. But I said, okay, let me come and test Instagram and see how Instagram actually work. Then I look at, then I study Instagram. We have so many wonderful people who have billions of naira that they want to spend. Now they're on Instagram. They don't even have numbers. They don't even have followers. So what can I do to making sure that I become this person? Check my page on Instagram. I don't even promote properties much. I try as much as possible to give value, and value. When you give value to a level, then they will be the one asking you, please, what do you get for social location? That is how I've been able to make wonderful sales. A lot of people, even this morning, like that, some wonderful sales that we've had were because I make use of social media. I don't just go and post my page. If you go to certain realtors pages, from January to December, you will just be seeing properties upon properties. In fact, you won't even see their faces. All you see is property. And when somebody comes to your page, social media must not be boring. It must be entertaining. It must also be lively. So people who are coming to your page want to see that your page looks like somebody who is actually living, not somebody who is just pasting and copying and paste. So you must take advantage of social media. And how can you build trust on social media? Building trust on social media is very, very simple. Look for a niche. Look for certain thing that you know that Atrajo is not doing, Joy Mena is not doing, Kemi is not doing, Mr. Prince Bobby is not doing on his page. Look for that niche. Create certain information around it. Once you create information, stick to that ground. And if you look at me in my video, most times you will see me with, my normal Yoruba, cap. And that is because it is a brand that I built for myself. And that is because most times when you go to social media, a lot of realtors are there. You can't even, a buyer cannot distinguish between Prince Bobby and Joseph and other realtors. Why? Because all of us, they wear suits. All of us, they wear normal clothes up and down. We'll do the same product. So what can you do to differentiate myself from Bobby? You must look for something. I come up with my own brand, my cap on my head. So when you see me, okay, next slide. So when you see me, you understand that, oh, this guy, I've seen his video before, his post before, it made sense. Oh, if another post come, it doesn't even need to say, okay, all you needed to do is just to say, oh, this guy, they always make sense. Let me watch his video. And he watch my video, he sees, oh, this guy is somebody I would like to work with. So over time, they are seeing my brand on my cap, often and often. And most of my students, I do tell them that create something for yourself that when buyers are looking for certain person, over time, they will notice you. If you look very well on social media, Brother Shaggy, he wears a short knicker, he will not put on clothes, and he'll be creating one or two nuisance around. I'm talking about the comedy now. And at the end of the day, you know where the comedy will end. If you check Macaroni, Mr. Macaroni will always be the one that is looking for, certain ladies that have, wonderful, good figure, and he will transfer money. And at the end of the day, he will have a loss in that place. That is his own brand. If you look at a lot of people online, they all have something that you can point to, and they have a cloth that they are putting on. Mr. Macaroni will always put on certain clothes. Shaggy will put on his own short knicker that is like, then a lot of them, they have that brand. Then Sabinos will put on a blue top with a shoe that is spoiled and trying to also go to woo somebody. At the end of the day, it must backfire. So people who are looking at you on social media must be able to define you with certain trends, and that makes you a trust. So as a realtor, what do? You need stronger enforcement, okay? And these are the things that you must do. Then as a realtor, you must position yourself, let them know that this is who you are right now. And as you're doing it, you see things working. And this year also, you also notice that there are so many regulations happening right now in Lagos, title scrutinies, and these are things that you as a realtor must be able to be ahead of them. The last but not the least, which we're going to say, is the property types and client segments that we win in 2026. This one, I want you to just pay attention. So, functional homes, not this kind of over-designed one. Then renter-friendly units. Look for properties that you know definitely that this one will sell. Then please, I'm not saying people are too poor, and I'm not saying people are very, very rich, but you must be able to be in between. So when you are selling a property, let the property be something that is in between, so that you can make sales at least 1 or 2 times in a week. Okay. Then another one is that flexible use property. Just look for them. Then other ones which I made mention is that your client segment, focus on diaspora Nigerians. Now they get money. They're the one helping Nigerians economy. Focus on them. Look for what they are looking for. They want trust. They want somebody that is in Nigeria that they can trust. They don't trust their uncle anymore. They don't trust their mother or their father anymore. So okay. So they don't trust their brothers. They don't trust their sisters. So they are trusting social media. And you as a realtor, you must fill in that gap. let your word, be a word that they can hold on even in anywhere. So diaspora Nigerians are your target. In Nigeria, yeah, look for a first-time buyer. So then a smart investors who is also looking for cash flow. They are there on the internet. Just out. Then another one is the retirees. They want to have a place to put their head. Most of the bungalows I sold were actually as a result of I was mentioning retire in my page as in on my page like that. So somebody who is retiring will just say, this one, he won't kill me with retire talk. Oh. If like say, say I won't retire truly like that. So because of that, a lot of them started saying, let me go to Atraju. This one know my pain very, very well. And also I was telling them that, you need to go for bungalows, because when you are climbing, it will not pain your leg anymore. When you are 60 years, 70 years, some say they have arthritis, so some say I've done surgery. So you must be able to, stick to their emotion like that. Then before you know it, you see things actually working. So who are your targets? Diaspora Nigerians. They have money. Build them. Then first time buyer. They won't show off in this Valentine. They won't show off to their woman. So okay, I get money. So sell promo, Valentine promo to them like that in this season. So let them surprise their wife or their their spouses with that. Then for investors who have excess money but they don't know what to put them, share those information to them. So as a realtor, to win in this year 2026, you must think like an analyst. Analyze. If you check my page, now so analysis that they do for there. Even sometimes my wife they say, "What happened? Oga, where they get all those things from?" I say, I must bring money to my house. If I don't bring money, okay, let me not go to direction. But as a realtor, you must be able to think like an analyst. You are no longer an hype man. You don't go to page and shake, body. No, you must analyze, think like an analyst. That is your job in this year 2026. Then you must also speak like a consultant, not like a marketer. Don't speak like marketer. A lot of people will be saying there's a language every realtor use. Every realtor like that. That language is so common to us. It's as you can see, all those kind as you can see that every realtor, all of even myself, they use them. We use it a lot. As you can see, this place is this, is that. No, you're not a marketer. You must talk like a consultant. Give them the analysis of how everything is going. So speak like a consultant. Even all of us know say we need money, but you must let your ego also be there as you are speaking like a consultant, so that the person who is buying can also decipher you between a marketer and a consultant. Now use data. Use data. Look for Lagos. For those that are in Lagos, if you're in Kano, I know somebody from Kano join. So if you're in Kano, you must always and always use data, not assumption. Assumptions are not fact. Use data. Look for what has happened last year. Use it to compare what may happen this year. What is happening? Inflation. What is government analysis? What is government doing as regards inflation? What is your own job? What is your own company or your own property that you want to sell? How can that property, have an edge over the other properties that somebody is selling? So what you must do is that always use data, not assumption. So assumption is not fact. Data is a real good itself. So and one thing I must also say is that the market will pay you for what you know, not how loud you are. That is the part that I must tell people. This market, real estate, will pay you for what you know. I close certain deals, almost I think over 100 million naira, sometime. And the person just said, see, I have somebody, like, I have bought from certain place before, but because of, say, I see what they do. Oh yeah, please, I get this amount of money that I want to spend. Oh yeah, please, just let this money outright sales over 100 and something, at about 120 million naira. So the market will pay you for what you know, not how loud you are. You must tell them what you know yourself. So we've seen situations whereby realtors are stealing clients. They are not stealing clients, using juju. No, they are stealing because they know what they are saying
and because they know what they are saying, buyers are changing realtors. So don't let them change you. Somebody reached out to me and said his buyers has changed him. Please do not let your buyer, your client, change you. So you must always do what? Be, a step ahead of your clients, a step ahead of other realtors, so that the glory will continue. So what I will end up with here is that 2026 is not a bad year. We are just starting. So in this year, 2026 is not a bad year for real estate. It's a filtering year. That's this year, and I go filter every one of us. Whether this one is they good for the industry, I be they good itself. So, and those who understand the market will grow, and those who you don't know, you will complain. So this is what I will tell every realtor today. Please understand what I say. You must know, this information. So if you want to survive in 2026, sell property. But if you want to dominate in 2026, understand real estate. Thank you so much for having me on this platform. I'm one and only realtor. Joe is the name.
Wow. Wow.
Thank you so much.
Wow.
Thank you, and thank you.
Fantastic. Okay, so everybody on this call, I would leave you to throw in your reaction. Let's see your reaction that would determine if Outright Joe did a very good job or
so
not.
much.
Please feel free, utilize all your stickers you have to express
Thank
yourself.
you.
Let me
Thank
see.
you so much. Thank you
For me,
for
I know
having
what
me.
I'm using. I'm
It's
going to
indeed
be
a real pleasure
here
to be here. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Outright
you.
Joe. This is justice. You have dissected this as much as it's, and we are very much grateful. This is quite impressive. Please, everybody, appreciate Outright Joe. Appreciate our speaker for today. He's our trainer, and like we promised you, you can tell if he met up to your expectation or
Thank
not.
You.
And this we have here.
Thank you, all my
today.
bosses. You're all my bosses. Oh, thank you, all
Thank
my
you
bosses,
so
and all
much,
my,
Outright.
all our MDs. Thank you, BlueDutch, for having me here.
Thank
I
you.
just want to hear the information that all of you are making sales this year. Please.
Yes, definitely.
Everyone must end this year with massive sales.
Thank you so much. This is quite it's a deep insight. This is beyond just calling realtors together to talk. This is quite educative, and I'm sure that every realtor on this call today has picked one thing or the other, and you can tell that this information that we have received today is definitely going to set the tone for other modules that are coming. And remember, this is just one out of 8 modules. And then I'm going to give it up for Outright Joe. It's very fantastic and amazing. And I can see people are eager to ask questions. So yes, we're going to take your questions. I would indulge you all to, I enjoin you to kindly leave your questions in the chat room. The reason is, of course, we have over 70 people. It's fluctuating between 70 and 80 on this call, and it is not possible that we take 80
Already husband is in next class.
for the sake of time, and of course, every other person needs to hang on to other activity. So we would appreciate if we can get questions. Raise up your hand, indicate, and then you would be allowed to speak. We don't want it to be too rowdy. Just note down your question. Coach Bobby is going to handle this aspect. He's going to moderate the Q&A session for us. So if you have questions, kindly do well, raise up your hand, and then also leave your question in the chat box. And I promise you, questions that are similar to each other, we're just going to group them together and take them as one, so that Outright Joe can attend to the questions. So we'll get all your questions, and then he will proceed to provide answers. We can do that within the next 10 minutes, and then we 10, 15, 20 minutes, and we see how we call it a day. So please go ahead and indicate if you have your questions. Thank you. Coach Bobby, over to you. Please, can you all hear me on the call? I want to be sure that you heard what I said. Coach Bobby. Okay.
Yes, yes.
Okay. Do I have Coach Bobby here with me? All right. While we await Coach Bobby, please, if you have a question, indicate by raising up your hand, and we're going to hit that running immediately. Please keep on dropping your appreciation in the chat room. I'm sure our speaker for today, Outright Joe, he can see your texts. So leave your words of appreciation for him in the comment section. And I pray, I'm trusting God that we are going to be raising superstar realtors. We're going to be raising the likes of Outright Joe. People would emerge as outstanding speakers. You'll be contacted in the nearest future to also come and give your insights on real estate. So take this seriously. We have 7 more modules to go. Yes, I can see Joy's hand up. Joy, go ahead, unmute yourself and speak quickly, please.
Okay. Good morning, everyone. I'll try, Joe. Thank you so much. You actually did a good job. I really learned a lot. So, my question is concerning, that's to do with the fact that we have, like you said, when you have two developers in the same location, one is selling for 40, one is selling for 48, and you still see realtors pushing, might even be pushing the 48 more than when they know that both documentations are the same, and even the 40 million is doing a better job than the 48 million. And most reasons is because of possibly the 48 million is giving incentive, maybe iPhone 15 Pro Max if you send one plot, and the other one is just given the normal incentive that just goes around with it. So I'm trying to say, because there's property that I want to say, I look at the price and I say no, this is like outrageous, it's not worth that location. But you still notice that that is the one that even has a sold out within the space of 1 month or 2 months, because realtors are pushing because of the incentives that comes along with it. So the thing is, how do we stop this kind of situations? Is there a way we can realtors, we can negotiate prices with developers, or is there a way that are you trying to understand where I'm just trying to put? Because it's not fair to the clients, and at the same time it's not fair to the realtors, because there are people like us that some people that would not still want to sell it, but it's popular, it's everywhere. So is there a way we can stop it, or is there a way we can kind of work towards reducing that? I have 2 questions, but this is my main focus, please, because of time. Thank you.
Okay, I'll try Joe. I think he is he just he's having a challenge with his with hearing what you are saying. Can you all hear me, please?
Yes, we can hear you. We can hear you.
Well, to be candid,
Okay.
I don't know if you can hear me, but I can't hear
We can hear
anyone
you. We can
from
hear you,
the.
sir.
I
Yes,
can't
we
hear
can
anyone
hear
at
you.
all.
We
But
can
I'm
hear
reading
you.
We can hear you,
messages.
sir.
So I'm reading messages.
Okay, from what we can decipher,
So
Joy,
I'm reading the
can you
messages so that
kindly
I can
leave
be
the
able to
message in
respond.
the chat?
So I'm using a proofreading. As you're talking, I'm reading the messages.
Okay, I think there is something technically wrong from Outright Joe's end in terms of hearing what we are saying at this time. So please, Joy, I would like you to drop your question, just summarize it in the chat room. Meanwhile, we have a question that has been sent to the chat room. This is coming from Victor Ozowe. He says, Outright Joe spoke about looking for a niche. Please, if you get a niche and you try it, and if, for instance, it's not giving results. So Outright Joe, I think you can attend to this question from Mr. Victor, because I'm not even sure if you can hear me at this time. Let me repost the question.
Okay.
So I have pasted the question in the chat room. Kindly just go through the chat room and attend to the questions.
Okay.
I don't know.
Yes, I've seen the question of Mr. Victor
Okay.
itself. So as regards your niche is something. Well, I don't know if. Let me just explain what niche is for those who probably may not know what niche is. Niche is you picking a particular topic, you stick to that topic, and you put, then you add flesh to that topic. So let me say in the real estate industry now, you want to just be talking about luxury products. That is actually your niche. then you key into that niche. You can be talking about billionaires and link them up to your niche because you are talking about luxury. So you cannot be talking about luxury and at the same time you are talking about or you are bringing a product from let me use Zamfara or a location that is not that economic viable like that to compare to luxury. So you must stick to that niche. Then everybody, I mean everybody have followers. We have seen people like Portable with all he's doing, he has people who follow his niche. Olamide, I'm using musicians now, Two Face, Wizkid, Davido, all of them, they are musicians. But what they are singing is quite different from each other. Yet they have followers who are following them based on what they have actually, um, um, stick to. So you as a person, you must come up with something. It's only a matter of time. People that have same like mind will follow you for that same niche. So you stick to it, keep pouring flesh on that niche. Then before you know it, one or two persons start joining. When I joined Instagram, I think I was telling my wife then, because we were like, you are not an Instagrammer. I said, okay, I've understood certain things about Instagram algorithm, by God's grace. Then I started with I think 150 followers when I joined, for all those things. Then when I got the main idea of what I should be doing, you must also ask God. I forgot to put the God part itself. You must always ask God for direction. So then I decided to do that. And when I did my first post, I noticed that a lot of people love it. Then I continue with that niche. And we build ourselves from that, just below 100 or below 200. We build ourselves to over 40,000 followers itself. And let me also make mention of something. Please, I just want to say something. As a realtor, I'm not saying you should not follow anybody, but please follow people who are adding value to yourself. And at the same time, don't just say because Madam Kemi followed me, I must follow her back on Instagram or on YouTube. No, let people that follow you because you are giving value. Those are your customers. Realtors are not, I am not your customer. As in, realtors are not your customers. Your main customers, your main clients are people who will be attracted to what you want to offer them. So let those that are attracted to want to offer them be the one that will follow you on social media. You can always meet your fellow realtors on any feed, collect their numbers. But when it comes to you on your business page, let people that follow you because you are rendering value to them, not because somebody follow me, I have to follow the person back. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Outright Joe. Thank you so much. We have another question here. Of course, the question has been attended to already. Then the next one here is from Badmos Abel. Outright Joe, I don't know if you can see that question in the chat room. She's asking, what would be your advice for someone who is just coming into the industry on how to get started? And then the second question from this person is, what 3 real estate sales book can you recommend? I don't know if Outright Joe can hear me on this one. So
okay. Yes, I can read everything. As you are talking, I'm reading them. So I've turned it to reading. So I can read, everything that you're saying. So once you talk, then I'll read, then I'll see the reading. Okay. So as regards somebody who is just joining the industry, um just understand that you are not in industry to suffer at all. You are not suffering. You are not suffering in industry. It's not an industry that permits, suffering at all. You are inside an industry that lifts people up. And now, if you are just joining, have the mindset that you are here to excel because you are climbing on the shoulders of people who are already there. We have different platform, different real estate platform. BlueDutch is one who are also encouraging people. They give class just like what you are, listening to now. If you are not joining the industry, you read book, you go for inspection. Let inspections be your daily guide. Understand? You don't get discouraged. You keep posting. So we have a lot of realtors already on ground who are already like principals in the industry. So for you to like take a client from them, you must be able to also do more than what they are doing. So if you are joining the industry, you are climbing on the shoulder of every realtors who are already there. And how do you do it? You follow them for inspection. You also what we call the product knowledge of the property you want to sell. Stick to certain property at the moment. Don't be jack of all trade. Let's say as BlueDutch has a property now, you can decide to stick to their properties, just be selling their properties. You go for more inspection. Over time, you develop yourself and you understand the market very, very well. Then you cannot decide to say, okay, now I've understood the market, let me explore. But at the moment, you must go for inspection. Property knowledge is key. The books that you read, please go online, go to YouTube, search for how to make my first sales. You will see it. Search for how to convince my clients. Read psychological book, listen to their videos, listen to their talk. Then you see yourself being impacted. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. Helen has a question. Helen, can you go ahead and ask your question, please? And to Joy, who was the first person to ask question. Unfortunately, Outright Joe didn't hear you then, but I think he said he has put on his setting to convert the audio to text where he can read. So maybe you can go ahead after Helen, or you just drop your question in the chat room. Thank you. Helen, over to you.
Thank you. Good morning. I'll try to. Thank you. That was really impactful, I must confess. But I want to ask this question. It might not just be the regular, but how do we get so hi personally, I know sometimes you have to follow some of these bodies like Lacera, the Lagos state government, to equip yourself with information that will actually keep you floating, that won't, so you're not ignorant of certain happenings. So you mentioned, I know there was a time they spoke about the railway coming from Ekpel the way through down to VI and all of that. But how do you assess some of this information that actually keep you that will keep you ahead, so you're not you don't hear certain things from a client? Because I know, not personally, but I know there are times if you're not equipped with information, you will start hearing them from clients instead of clients hearing from you, you end up getting information from them. So what are the sources? Who do you think one should follow? How do you get access to some of this information and all of that? Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Ellen, for that. There's a saying, then they say, follow who know road. It's a regular word that they tell us, that follow who know road. Before now, I don't like watching news. I don't even listen to news. But these days, I started listening to business news because now there, billionaires they day. So that is where they listen to news. Some, it can even be politics. So I try much as possible to read plenty newspaper. So some things that Lagos State just say they want to do, I'll go to just check on Lagos State updates. Once you start checking them, you get one or two information that once you get those information, then you can answer, okay, before this man called me, let me do. Okay, I think last week, one of a very powerful billionaire reached out to me. Very powerful. Many of you may know the person. So he called me and said, okay, I'll try it. Okay, I want us to meet. Like that on a normal day, this is somebody I I don't think I can, when it's even passes a bodyguards fully everywhere. Well, he reached out and he called me. I said, okay, who be this one? When he introduced, I said, I said, okay, thank you so much, sir. Then he said, okay, this is my number. Call me. Or in fact, let us even meet on so day. Like that. Understand? So how was I able to meet up with somebody like that? Is because of social media, one. Secondly, you are like an authority in your field. Then thirdly, I am informed. So what he doesn't know, I was able to tell him ahead. One reach out, another billionaire reach out, I think yesterday, and was saying, okay, where can I buy this? Now, what I'm trying to say in essence here is this: information will put you at the doorstep of many billionaires. You'll be shocked at the level of people who are watching you, who are looking at your video. They just want to see how consistent you are. They want to see how informative you are. They want to see how authoritative in the industry you are. So those information, or some of the, little information that they know that you yourself now know, it also puts you in the same, shoulder with them. So they say, okay, this may also be our young boy. Let us, find. So this is how it goes. So information are everywhere. Search for them. And to get people who are also high net worth individuals like that, you must also do what you believe that they know. You can check on social media, Google about certain person, what they love. They're also human being like us. So what you as a person may love, just try posting it, or something that pertain to billionaires, that pertain to multi-millionaires. You see how they call billionaires anyhow. So I'm just using that word billionaire, because the reason I'm every day say, okay, that should be my position also. And you as a realtor must also be able to, put information in front of them that makes you look that, yes, you have the same information that they also know. With that, you see yourself excelling. So for Ellen, I believe I've asked a question, I've answered the question. Search online, listen to news, business news especially, then look for what billionaires are looking for. Google will give you all those information. Yeah, thank you.
Okay. Thank you so much. I'll try, Joe. I think in addition to that, I would really like Coach Bobby to drop his insights in this regard too,
Better.
especially where to get information.
Okay, yeah.
But before then, I would like to add to what I'll try, Joe has said. One thing you ought to understand as a realtor, consultant, or how you address yourself is that understand the field, understand the industry, and know the people to contact, know the people to associate with. I would say clearly that for realtor, look out for the bodies, the governing bodies of the industry where you are functioning. Search them across social media, follow them. Go on Instagram, go on YouTube, search for REDAN, that's the Real Estate Developers Association of Nigeria, Lagos State chapter, whatever chapter, depending on the location where you are. Follow them and hit the notification bell so that whenever there is an update, you would see it firsthand. You will see it on your dashboard. Secondly, you can also look out for the likes of course, you can also follow the Las RERA, that's the Real Estate Regulatory Authority here in Lagos State. Search for those ones in the various locations where you operate from. Follow them, hit the notification bell. That notification bell is very important. Then you can also follow pages like Naira Metrics on Instagram or YouTube, where they give facts and figures, right? You would hear a lot of rumors all over the social media, but when you go to places like Naira Metrics, you would see detailed information. Another key person I think you all need to follow is there's this guy online who debunks a lot of myth that other wannabe lawyers, I'm sorry I have to use that word, you see a lot of lawyers are turning to content creators nowadays, and they just set their camera, they are telling you your CFO after 99 years you can no longer have it, is no longer, the state will reclaim your land. They give false information, and some of this information, unfortunately, your clients will get to see them before you. But if you follow people like there is this popular funny lawyer who actually spills nothing but the truth. If you follow his Instagram page, you see most times what he does, he looks out for his fellow lawyers who post false information. He goes back, reposts their information, and debunk the information, thereby providing the correct information for the general audience. So these kind of people, if you continue to follow them, there is no way you will not have the right information and stay ahead of your game. And then lastly, I think you can follow the organizations. Look for the reputable company that you market for or you partner with. Make sure you follow them on social media, hit the notification bell. And then also in their various platforms like WhatsApp. I know realtors, there is one thing about realtors. Realtors don't like to read. Many a times their information at our faces, but we'll just scroll through because it's a group chat, of course. So when you get certain information in the platform, try to look at what it is telling you, because one out of or 2 out of 3 times that information is to keep you ahead of the game. So I think if you can do these things alongside what Outright Joe has said, and maybe with more insight that Coach Bobby is going to offer, there is no way we will not be ahead of our game in 2026. Coach Bobby, please take the floor.
All right, fantastic. Kemi, that was a very powerful review there. I want to appreciate also the powerful speech by Outright Joe. I'm sure you have your questions already on ground to expand more on those questions. But something he said that I want us to really take very seriously. The game has changed. You know, the game has changed. There's an update or rather an upgrade right now. So you're not more just you're a marketer, but you're now a consultant and advisor. So if you want to do real estate now, don't just about I want to sell. You must be knowledgeable. You must be informed about what you are doing. You have to understand the business and know how to talk with data and talk with figures and facts. So it's the onions are on right now to just not just know how to sell, but have the knowledge of the consultant indeed, and know how to engage your clients and give them data and information. That's the trend right now. And talk about trust. Trust is the major trend right now that you can't joke with. And it's always I want to ask, how do we build trust? As a consultant, as a real estate person, realtor, how do you build trust? Only Outright Joe is still there. You want to also help us on that. How, let's use that to open our question for tonight, for this afternoon. How do realtor build trust in this industry? Are you there?
I think because of time, we are going to be handling one of the modules we'll be attending to or we'll be treating on this cohort 3 is about branding. We have the famous, the popular content creator, and of course he's trending for the right reasons recently. He's going to be on this call to take us through, so rather on the subsequent modules to take us through branding. Right. So, Coach Bobby, pardon me, because of time, I don't think we may. Yeah, I don't think we may be able to go deep into all of that. But then, for all the realtors on this call, I want you to drop your inquiries. Right. Drop your questions. Most of you are on the platform, and the WhatsApp link has also been posted in the chat room. Right. So you can join the WhatsApp platform, drop your questions. These questions, it is not a one-off. Coach Bobby is also on that platform, very much ready and happy to assist us with all questions that you would be bringing on. And I would like you all to also go back to the various WhatsApp platforms, your groups, and do a shout out to the speaker of today, do a shout out to BlueDutch. Of course, it is not easy to bring this training to our doorstep. This training that you're receiving for free, of course, is being heavily paid for in our way to give back to the community. So I think we can do well to drop that appreciation on our various platforms to acknowledge the company, to acknowledge the speakers, even those who are yet to speak. And Coach Bobby, I think I would just want to crave your indulgence on that. Thank you.
Very clear. Go ahead.
Okay.
Questions, as you said, I will address that more in the group, in the WhatsApp group.
Okay, I see Abel Badmos is having his or her hand raised up. Okay, this hand has been raised for a long time. Could it be the same question you dropped in the chat room? Okay, we
Yeah,
have a
yeah,
wonderful personality. Yes, okay, go ahead. Quickly,
yeah.
please.
Thank you very much, BlueDutch. Yeah, one of the questions was not answered, and that's the three books that I mentioned. That was not answered. I'll be very glad if the coach, the facilitator, can help me to answer that question. Thank you.
Okay, right. No problem. This will be conveyed to you. I promise you that. I'm going to follow up. The guest speaker or our trainer for today actually sent a message. He has an emergency, and in fact, he had to exit the call. So we would send that to you via WhatsApp. Ensure you have joined the cohort 3 WhatsApp group. On that group, you'll be getting updates. You'll be asking further questions. We'll still be giving more information about the company and our listings and all of that on the cohort 3 group. And then, of course, our general WhatsApp platform. So please do well to join the group. We would address further questions. I would take the honor to introduce a very important personality on this call. She has been silent on the background and observing. And with us here, I am happy to announce we have the MD CEO BlueDutch, Madam Candice. I would like you to give us a word of two to put an icing on the cake that we've had today. Thank you so much, Ma.
All right. Good morning, everyone. Thank you very much, Kemi. Thank you, Coach Bobby, and the award-winning facilitator. He did an immense job, and I will tell you that I learned a thing or two from his training. Thank you to everyone, our realtors and friends that took our time to join us. We believe that you've learned a lot, and I want to assure you that this is just the beginning. This is the one, and we are confident that subsequent modules will deliver even much more. So for realtors that are looking forward to getting a certification, you have to stay all through. I urge you to come next week, get your friends, relatives, family members to join in this training. Anyone can be a realtor. We have a couple of professionals, medical doctors, lawyers that are our realtors. So get them involved as well to benefit from this pot of gold that is being dished out to you. Now, another reason why they should join up is the fact that we are going to be touching other topics. We are going to be touching the tax laws, the new tax laws. A lot of people are not do not really understand what is happening concerning the tax laws. We're going to be touching it. We're going to be touching personal branding, mortgage financing. And when it comes to mortgage, it's a topic that everyone should be interested in because every one of us need to be homeowners in the next 2 years. So this mortgage financing is going to help us own our own properties. So we're going to be touching as well legal compliance. So if you have questions about legality, documentation, the lawyer will be on hand to attend to it. I won't be treating any topic as today because today is the first day and we had a lot of introduction to make, meaning we've eaten deep into the time. But subsequently, I would throw my 1 cent or 2 cents in a collaboration with what the facilitator would have presented. Thank you very much for being a part of BlueDutch, and subsequently we'll talk further. God bless you all.
Thank you so much, Ma. Thank you. Thank you. Please drop your reactions. Appreciate the MD CEO BlueDutch Property. Appreciate her. She is the host. She's the convener of this 2026 BlueDutch Realtor Masterclass Cohort 3. This year we have the Cohort 2, and this is the Cohort 3. So please ensure that you finish through what you have started, because that is the only way you can have the full dosage of this Cohort 3. And then, of course, I promise you, if you stay through this training and apply everything you're learning from each of the cohorts, don't wait until the end of the cohort before you start applying. Don't reserve your best game for the later. start applying whatever you're learning immediately. Our numbers have been dropped in the chat room. You need further maybe consultation, advices, guidance on how to go about your real estate game, you can reach out to us via all the links that we have communicated through the chat room, and then the contact details will be on guard to guide you. I'm sure we'll be entertaining a lot of entries from now till the next cohort. The next cohort is coming up next week, Wednesday. I must commend everyone who joined into this training. Surprisingly, the training started at 10 o'clock, but as early as 9:55, we already had participants queued up and waiting to be added to the platform. And that is actually a good sign of people who have decided to change their real estate game. Real estate has changed. What we have in 2026 is not what we had last year. So for you to move with this train, I mean, you have to also position yourself to be rightly equipped with the right techniques in order to level up your own transformation. So yes, make sure you cascade this information, this good news, to your friends and families, relatives, everyone within your network, your church, your school, whoever that is interested in real estate. Give them the good news, share the registration link with them, share the meeting link with them when it is almost time for the training. And of course, you already have the link for cohort 2 right here in the group. Make sure you copy it and also ask for it on other platforms. It will be provided so that you can be equipped and ready for the next cohort, which is coming up next week, 9:55, 9:58. Start queuing in, just secure your seat in the room. Take note of something. The moderators and our admin on the back end is taking note of this meeting. We are taking note of early birds. Should there be room for awarding people for their good jobs and for joining in on time, so that you would not miss out on that opportunity. So once again, I want to say thank you for joining BlueDutch. And my name is Kemi Parker. Coach Bobby, do you have any message for us on the final note?
All right, just in case you join in and you've not registered for the entire program itself, maybe you join in through join this class, please, there's a link for the entire course, the 8-week course. Please register for that course, very important. There's a number in the chat room, and chat the number and get the link and join this chariots, join this movement. All right, see you on next class. Please bring people to next class, 2, 3 people, invite your friends. Don't learn alone, and let people learn with you. You know, the more you learn, the more you earn. See you next class, and practice all you've learned today. Please practice them. Without practicing, all you're learning is just will not go far. So put them to work and keep growing. Thank you.
All right. Do we have anyone who is going to represent the students in giving vote of thanks? Do we have anybody in the floor? Do we have anybody from the audience who wants to give vote of thanks on behalf of everyone? 1 minute.
Good morning, everyone.
Yeah.
My name is Deborah Onotoye. I want to say a very big thank you to our facilitator today, Outright Joe, and to BlueDutch. I want to say a very big thank you. This has been an amazing journey. Thank you all so much. And to my fellow students, I hope today was awesome for you, just as it was for me. And I'm so excited, and I'm looking forward to next week. Thank you all so much, and God bless you.
So much, Deborah Onotoye. Maybe by next cohort, next module, next week, we will pick our class reps and for cohort 3, just like we had for cohort 2. All right, thank you, everyone. Remember to stay glued to BlueDutch. On our platforms, we are going to be sharing our properties, all the properties that we're selling in our various locations, and then other exciting information that would help you grow in your real estate journey. Thank you once again, and see you on the next one.